Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better subscribe to somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Chat, Grapple, and Cheap Hop Podcast proudly brings to you its podcast champions of the world. The figure dog JB, the badass Chrissy Dredd, and this is Chat, Grapple, and Cheap Hop Podcast.
Amazing. And with that, we welcome everyone to episode lucky number 13.
Damn right.
Chat, Grapple, and Cheap Pops podcast. We are on YouTube. We are on every other podcasting place you can find us. Chris, reel them off.
Fingers ready, baby. Get your fingers ready. As JB's saying, we're on YouTube. We're on Podbean, Spotify, Deezer, Castbox, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Listen Notes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and a partridge in a pear tree. We are everywhere, baby.
And we thank you for tuning in as usual. We thank you for tuning in to all the other podcasts. We love doing this. We love chatting to everyone. We love hearing from everyone. And this week is, as usual, it's another good one.
It is. It's another good one. It's as we like to do. We do 1 week WCW, 1 week WWF. We kind of like to rotate a little bit. Last week we did. What did we do last week? WCW War Games, World War III.
World War III, yeah. What a main event!
1995. The best fucking main event that money can buy. Yeah. And this week we are back to that company up north. And JB, what is it, baby?
It's that show that Hogan mentioned at World War III that was just, guys coming in, throwing them out. He said it was boring. And it's basically, the granddaddy of battle royals. It's the Royal Rumble. It's 1998. It's an incredible show. And at least for me, the last, hour of the show is incredible. And it's January 18th, 1998. And I've got a few things to talk about. I already pre-warned Chris that I had stuff to talk about before we started here, and I'll roll with it for just a few seconds. It is, I don't know, Chris, you were watching the VHS, right?
Indeed, I was watching the VHS as I have it right here, the back of Stone Cold Steve Austin's Melon.
Although Vince Jr., I think he has a bone to pick with you about free-for-alls.
Yeah, there's no free-for-all on this, dude. But there was some Coliseum exclusive, Silver Vision exclusive bits, including a bit at the end. I don't know if you got them on the Network.
I don't think so, purely because they cut it at the right at the. We won't spoil it, but they do cut it right off. There's no sign off from JR and the King. There's nothing, so it's just a finish.
And after that, I get a little video exclusive.
So there we go. There's some exclusives to talk about at the end. So stay tuned. Don't just disappear now. You're gonna have to
touch that dial.
Yeah. It is the Royal Rumble. It's 1998. It's a good promo vid on what it means to be the champion at the start of my one on the network. And
on the video, do you get the WWF Attitude advert?
No.
And please, anybody who watches that era of WWF, please tell me you remember that advert where you've got different superstars. You've got Stone Cold. It says, people think that we're not, they get the wrong idea about WWF. We're good, wholesome family entertainment. Then you crack someone with a chair. Then you've got Sable saying, oh, we would never use sex to sell our product. And you've got people smooching. And then you've got Undertaker come through. And you've got Mick Foley there at the end rocking. And then you've got Vince McMahon when someone's been thrown out of a window saying WWF Attitude. Get it? It's that advert. Get it? Yeah, Vince, we get it, dude. You didn't need to sell it, bro. But that is one of my favorite adverts, and it just, as soon as I watch it, it sends me straight back to that time. And I just love that advert.
So 1-800-COLLECT, I guess that's the collect call company, presents the WWF Royal Rumble. We're in San Jose, California, in front of, and this is quite a big crowd, 18,542.
Yeah.
That's pretty big. Now, here's where my problem begins with ranting and raving. I'm going to try not to do it too much, but it starts with numbers. Now, 351,000 buys for the Royal Rumble. It's their biggest number since WrestleMania 10. Now, that's pretty mad. Like, WrestleMania 10 was 1994. You know, it's a long time since they've drawn any sort of numbers like this. WCW sold out a week later, or 6 days later, would draw 5,000 crowd, 5,486 crowd, but they would claim to get over 400,000 pay-per-view buys. I think they were probably just doing it to say they beat the Royal Rumble, because sold out 1998 is not a good show.
No.
And you only got 5,000 paid going in. But this is my rant, and I can't help myself, because for anyone bragging about AEW numbers, and there are people that do.
Oh, shit.
Or, you know, key demographics.
Oh, shit.
Demo gods.
Dude, you're kicking... No, dude, you're kicking the hornet's nest. You're kicking the hornet's nest.
I'm going to hit it with the bat this time.
Oh, fuck.
Yes, demo god, Chris Jericho. Yes, you were a demo god. Don't get me wrong. In the 2000s, you know, even in the late 90s, you were incredible. You probably won ratings all by yourself. But for anyone really, really going on about the 700,000 buys that AEW are getting on a Wednesday night, just read a book, read Wikipedia, read anything that has any real numbers to it, because nearly 500,000 people were buying pay-per-views around that time. You know, you only have to look at these numbers: 400,000 for WCW. You know, WWF's WrestleMania would get over 700,000 pay-per-view buys. That's more than your TV audience. That's more than your 700,000 watching the weekly shows.
Get them.
Free TV.
Get them.
I can't help it. I'm sorry, but you know, there are also, you know, NXT. Like, yes, it's, you know, don't argue with it. Just, you know, it's not a war. We've already said this before. It's not a Wednesday night war. I'm doing the quotation marks because it's not. It's, you know, if you know what happened on Monday nights back in the late 90s was a war. What's happening now is two people arguing at a church fete over where the cake goes.
Boom.
That's and I got one more point. If your show is being beaten by Guy's Grocery Games, don't brag. Please don't brag. Guy Fieri, I'm a big fan anyway of him and his shows on the network.
Drive-ins, diners, and dines.
Yeah.
What was it? Drive-ins, diners, and dives.
That's a good show. I like that too.
Fucking A, man.
Seriously, it's not a war. Nobody's winning when you're not beating Guy's Grocery Games. Sorry.
Dude, you know what? It's so funny because...
Should I have ended that? Should I have ended that with "I'm Jim Cornette" and that's my opinion? You just
shot a promo, mate. That's sick. You know, the problem that we've got, and it is going to piss off a few people, but I don't really care. But the problem at the moment is people want an alternative to WWE. Okay. They want an alternative so bad that they will literally support anything else that isn't WWE, while at the same time still watching WWE. Like, the way to hit a company is don't fucking watch it if you don't fucking like it. Okay, it is that simple. The way you hit any company that you don't agree with what they're doing or what their programming is like, don't watch them. If you constantly watch WWE, but yet you bitch about their programming, then you are just encouraging them to do the same thing because they think that you like it because you're still watching. Don't watch it. Switch off. You know, and with AEW,
it's a good show. It's a good show.
Yeah, but they're comparing it against fucking NXT, which isn't even the WWE's main show.
Yeah, if you're going to chase a show, chase Raw. Chase SmackDown.
Chase Raw, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not hating on AEW. Believe me,
No, we like it.
you know, we like the alternative. We like an alternative, but the booking. You know, the best thing that has happened in AEW recently, and I will still say it, and I don't give a fuck. MJF, mate. MJF.
He cut a good
You know,
promo this week. I saw that.
dude,
It
it was
promo.
absolutely that's heat, bro. Yeah, that's fucking heat. And the fact is, he doesn't give a fuck because he knows.
I'm going to mention another company right now, and this will have Chris in bits, because there is another company out there that
they did good, didn't they?
Doesn't care what any other show is doing. They're just doing what they want, and they
boom.
And dare I say it, they put on a good show the other week. Slammiversary. Impact.
They did.
Wrestling. You're doing a good job. I like it. You know, fair play to you. And also, I will give a shout out to another show I watched at the weekend, which was on the lines of hilarious and ridiculous, Talking Shopomania. Shout out to the Good Brothers for that, because I was in stitches at some of that stuff.
That's something I haven't yet watched. I do want to watch Talking Shopomania. I've seen a couple of bits and bobs from it, but I do want to watch it. Sorry, my video did something really weird there, and it was like glitching.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I felt like Max Headroom. It's doing it again. But anyway, it doesn't matter. If you can hear me, that's all good. Yeah. So TNA did good recently. They, I actually watched a shoot interview with, I think it was either Hannibal or Chris Van Vliet, with Eric Young, because Eric Young obviously is back there. They've taken their time to get back to where they are, because for a little while they didn't have any TV. You know, so it's taken them a little while to build it up, get the momentum back up again. But TNA Impact Wrestling, you know, I'm happy to see, because the wrestling world needs something. Yeah, it does need other companies, just literally for the guys and gals that are working. It needs it, you know, but not right. For the marks that I'm like us.
In the 90s, you know, we had three major companies from the US doing their thing, and that was enough. That was plenty. Yeah, I'm not gonna add the Japanese stuff into it, even though you'd find some great Japanese matches. They were few and far between on our TV channels anyway. You just wouldn't get them. You'd get a tiny bit of New Japan on Eurosport or something like that, and late in the evening.
Trans World Sport sometimes on Channel 4.
But yeah, you had three big companies, and that was fine, you know. And there's nothing wrong in this market for three big names to just make their own money and not try and you know, argue about demographics and stuff. Good Lord. Shall we get to the show?
Let's get to the show, man. I love it, because we don't actually, you know, we're not strict in how we do this. We're just having a chat, you know, and if things pop up and we want to talk about them, we talk about them. It makes it more exciting. If we want to fucking piss around with the New Age Outlaws theme tune and mess around at the beginning, we do that. We don't really give a toss, you know, but we do. You know, so we're just having fun with it, man. So yes, let's get on with the show. Like you say, they had the to be WWF Champion promo.
I liked it.
At the beginning.
Good video.
Yeah, it was good. You know, it's selling, you know, the championship belt. The fact that the winner of the Rumble goes on to WrestleMania to face the champion. And then you have Jim Ross and the King. And they're talking about there's 3 title matches on the line tonight. And they talk about Mike Tyson for the first time, but it won't be the last time.
Yeah, they mentioned that Steve Austin is a marked man. Stone Cold has been running right in the past 3 weeks or so on Raw, just stunning everybody, you know, doing whatever he wanted and setting himself up for a possible fall here at the Rumble. Yes, Mike Tyson is there. Did you hear the boos from Mike Tyson at the beginning?
I did, but I wasn't sure if they were for him or something else was happening in the ring.
Shane.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike Tyson's there. You won't hear the last of Mike Tyson. He gets a lot of mentions. But we get to our first match, and it's the, the artist formerly known as Goldust. He's with Luna, bless her, and he's taking on Vader. And got time for Goldust's first outfit of the night?
He looks like an Oompa fucking Loompa from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Gene Wilder version. But
the only version in my book. But
it is the only. Big up yourself. To me, this is the match of two very, very good wrestlers that have been forsaken by WWF at this time. These two are two very, very competent workers, two very, very good characters. Vader has held titles everywhere around the world. He's held prominent titles in Japan. He's had some absolutely smashing matches all over the world with some very, very...
a backflip from the top rope and landed on his feet. And one of our other podcasts, like, come on, like this guy.
Come on, man. You know, and these two guys have been thrown by the wayside, basically, by WWF at this time.
I will say Goldust is in this awful green and purple singlet. He's got a little gold sort of thong thing on the front. It's such a mess. And to me, because from what I'd seen of Goldust in '97, he looks a little heavier here as well.
He is a little heavier. I mean, this is... They talk about, for the first time, I think, in WWF with regards to Goldust, they actually talk about Dusty Rhodes when they're talking about Goldust.
JR makes a crack and says his family tree needs trimming. That's not very nice.
No, it's not, especially because he worked with Dusty. It's what they've done. There's a video where they show you what has been happening, you know, against the last few weeks, and you see that they've dressed him. They're ribbing Dustin right now, because one week he came out, you know, dressed as Sable, so he had, like, you know, the black knickers, like the bondage gear. You know, next week he was dressed like a baby. Then he's dressed here like an Oompa Loompa.
He was dressed as Dude Love for one as well.
You what?
He was dressed up as Dude Love as well in one.
Yeah. You know, so he dumped Marlena apparently, but this is after the death of Brian Pillman, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, Pillman was gone in October.
So this isn't that long after that, and Marlena left after that because they had the angle, and I think it was, you know, I don't know what had happened. I mean, Vader in this match with Goldust, like, Vader, his career never really took off in WWF, and I want
blame Shawn Michaels.
Yes, I think we honestly can blame Shawn Michaels, because, I mean, whether you like Jim Cornette or not, you can listen to him about things that went on behind the scenes with Leon, aka Vader. He was his manager for a wee while, and Shawn Michaels was saying things like, "If you fucking pull my hair like that again, it will be your job," you know. And if you look at the match, I mean, we will 100% do SummerSlam '96. And the main event to that was Vader and Shawn Michaels. And that is a match where Shawn Michaels, the psychology with it was all fucked, because Shawn wanted to make himself look the best at all times, rather than actually telling the story properly and then making himself look better at the end. And I think he did it in the match with The Undertaker in the casket match here as well, because the psychology was all over the place with that match.
It was, but I think there's a reason behind it, and there's a few changes made mid-match, but we'll definitely get to that.
Yeah. So I mean,
Vader's career was more than likely torpedoed by Shawn Michaels, because from what anyone else has said, Vader was meant to win that title at Survivor Series '96 and then drop it back to Michaels at the Royal Rumble '97.
That's correct.
That position was given to Sid, or Psycho Sid. which is one of Sean's buddies at the time. And yeah, it's a
Yeah.
shame for Vader because Vader's over. He's especially over here in this show. He gets a nice pop here and he gets another one later on. And there's some big Vader chants. There's a really bad bump from Goldust into the steps. Like he just sort of just shrugged into him. It didn't look good at all. But Luna, on the other hand, was fantastic at ringside.
Oh, dude. And she takes, at the end of this, she takes the bump of all bumps. It looks like she nearly broke her fucking back. It made me wince watching it. I won't lie.
Yeah, it was almost like a face plant, wasn't it?
Yeah, and her back like bent backwards as she landed, but we'll get to that. There was a spot in this where Goldust grabs Vader and kisses him, and then he gets turned inside out with a clothesline.
1998 does not accept man love at this point. They're not. Again, it goes back to that time when Austin kissed Pillman, or the other way around, in WCW, and the fans went absolutely mental.
Yeah.
And they're still not quite accepting of different lifestyles. Yeah, Vader wipes him out with that massive clothesline, which is
he proper turns him inside out with it. I mean, what did you think of this match?
It's okay. It's not very long. It's not a lot. There wasn't a lot of highlights because I've got only really short paragraph on it.
Same.
But it's it's one of those matches that I guess neither man wants to get hurt. They want to get through the Rumble later on. They're working double duty, as is most people on the show. And yeah, it's a short opener to get the fans G'd up for what comes later on. And it's an okay match. I mean, Goldust hits Vader low. Luna jumps on Vader's back when Vader's climbing up for a Vader bomb. And Vader just says, "Oh, screw it, just do it anyway." And this is where poor Luna just crumples face first and bends in the weirdest way.
It's very horrible.
And yeah, it's a face plant, back twisting mess, and Vader wins. And
they show about 5 replays of it as well. They fucking go in.
They don't mind showing the injuries at this point. Michael Cole is with Stone Cold Steve Austin. He pulls up in his truck. Austin throws the keys at him, tells him to park the damn truck. Get your ass whipped. And then the Godwins turn up. Henry and Phineas looking for him, asking where he went. Doesn't really, I'm pretty sure that the Godwins were never going to find him. Dude,
one something that was brought to my attention, and I never really thought about it, by shout out our number one fan, Max, not the Hulk Hogan. He said Henry O. Godwin spells hog, and Phineas I. Godwin is pig.
Yeah.
And I never clocked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never clocked that.
I mean, they were the Texicans in WCW, but they were hog farmers here in the WWF. And then we get possibly the worst song of the show, "I Know You Want Me."
I know you want me.
Yeah. It's awful, isn't it? We should have a poll maybe next week on Twitter, which song is worse. "I Know You Want Me" or "American Males."
Chuck in the Johnny B. Bad tune, and we'll have a triplet.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'd forgotten about it. I know you I forgot you really dislike that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sonny is our guest referee for the next match. And they accidentally play, I don't know if you catch this, they accidentally play Mankind's exit music. So the crowd start cheering.
Yeah, I heard that. It was like the piano-y.
Yes, the piano.
Yeah, I clocked that. Yeah.
So someone's finger must have slipped.
Yeah.
It's not Mankind, it's our mini 6-man tag match. It's Battalion, Tarantula, and El Torito, not the El Torito that you'd see later on in WWE way later, against Nova, Mini Nova, Mosaic, and everyone's favorite mini superstar, Max Mini. I got tired of the short jokes after a while. I don't know about you. Jerry Lawler was laying it on pretty thick, and I sort of gave up on listening to it.
Even JR said, "Oh, you come in thick and fast with those. Was it Quiet Flight? Was it Boring Flight or something?"
Yeah.
You know, he so
Well, the ones I have written down are some of the earlier ones. He says that Max Mini, who was apparently 87 pounds, would make a great fridge ornament or a hood ornament for his car.
yeah.
Now, for anyone that knows what Sonny does now, JR's joke about Sonny having a handful with 6 men is quite apt.
Dude. And recently, I think she's just been arrested again, hasn't she?
Yes, she has. I don't know what.
I mean,
I try not to dig into that stuff anymore.
I don't quite understand why. I tell you what is funny though. There was a sign that said, "Sonny, we want Sonny, not Sable." As Sonny's coming to the ring, and she looks at the sign, she goes like that, and it's quite obvious, like they catch it. Yeah, Max Mini could walk under a closed door. You know, Max Mini tried to commit suicide by jumping off a curb.
Yeah, he could be a security guard at a Roach Motel.
Yeah, you know, it was just, yeah, I don't know. I don't quite understand.
He could also play hockey on an ice cube.
On an ice cube.
And that was it for me. I was done. Like, I just put, okay, King, we get it. Like, they're little.
I mean, this match was absolute dog shit, I would say. It wasn't great at all.
A lot of arm drags, weren't there?
But they were horrible ones that weren't even connecting properly. They weren't even...
It reminded me of a really bad tumbling act.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
And at one point in the match, Sonny helps Max Mini. She's like holding him and he's like kicking.
She botched a leapfrog over the smallest person in the arena.
He ran straight into her snatch. And it wouldn't be the first or the last time that a wrestler did that.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, she botches the leapfrog over the smallest person in the match. I can't. There was a nice, when they started doing the planches and stuff, there was a nice springboard corkscrew from Max, which was...
Yeah, it was good. Yep.
And then, there was Max gets the pin on. I think it's El Torito.
Yeah, but it was a fucking arm drag into a cradle.
Yeah, a crucifix pin. Yeah, it was...
It was terrible. And then Sonny, at the end, she was carrying him like a baby. She was like holding him like a fucking baby. Like, he gave her a cuddle and that. She got down on her knees like she has done probably before. And, and, you know, holding him up with that. And then he gave her a cuddle and then she just picks him up like a baby. And, like, you know, carries him. It's like, how patronising do you want to be to this guy? Like...
Jerry says to come and sit on his lap because that's the best seat in the house. And JR, with probably the best line for me, calls him Uncle Jerry. And I was like, you know what? That'll shut him up for a minute. Uncle Jerry, how low can you be?
And I tell you what, yeah, JR is reining him in quite a lot. He's doing the gorilla.
Yeah, he's gorilla to King's Bobby, but King is nowhere near Bobby.
No, I mean, he's nowhere near Bobby, but it's the dynamic's quite good where JR is pulling him up constantly, saying, "Oh, you're just too much," you know what I mean? And
King is still a heel commentator at this point. He does end up like drifting out of that later on in like maybe 99, maybe further on down the line because he's still cheering on every heel and clapping whenever Vince comes out and stuff like that.
When there was an angle where Taz had the King in some kind of move, and JR came with his sweetie box and whacked.
2000, yeah, SummerSlam 2000. That was Oh man, you have to watch that at some point.
yeah. It's one of them that just popped into my head. It's that's when he sort of was a bit of a
TLC
face.
Well, I think.
You what?
First TLC match as well.
Ah, yes, indeed. It was a good pay-per-view.
Very good, right? Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll talk about that. Farouk. We go backstage, and Farouk's he sends newest member of the Nation, Mark Henry, into Steve Austin's apparent dressing room to kick his ass, and they find a foam middle finger instead. That's great. It's great marketing, that foam middle finger, like.
Oh, they made fucking millions off that, mate.
Yeah, the T-shirt, the middle fingers, the beer cans and all that stuff. They must have made tons off of that. Jerry Lawler thinks Mike Tyson wants his autograph, and he makes a lot of cracks about fighting Tyson throughout the show.
He says he'll uppercut him at one point in the show. He says, "Oh, I'll uppercut him. He was 5'10". I'll make him 6'3".
Yeah, it's absolute nonsense. We get a little video recap from Ken Shamrock and The Rock. Rock is our Intercontinental Champion. He was awarded the title when Austin didn't want to do a job. You get shown the free-for-all, a brief part of the free-for-all, which is just a teaser, I think. Just
talk more about that, dude. Talk more about the job he didn't want to do, quickly.
Oh, well, Austin not wanting to job. Okay, Austin won back the Intercontinental title from Owen Hart, I think, at Survivor Series. It was then really apparent that he was going to be pushed into the main event. But whilst doing that, not many Intercontinental champions make it to the main event with the belt still. And that's pretty obvious, pretty apparent. Only the Ultimate Warrior and maybe one or two others have carried the belt into their main event program.
Yeah.
Austin was told he would have to drop the title at some point. It was chosen that Rocky Maivia, the Rock from the Nation, would be the one to take it. They planned to take it from him at the DX pay-per-view. Austin argued something, and it never came that way. It just, in fact, he didn't even lose the match. He won. It was an absolute brawl, that one, wasn't it? With the truck at ringside and all that.
Yeah.
And I think they wanted to drop it again on Raw, and Austin decided he wasn't going to do that job either. So instead, they had this weird. I really remember this one. I haven't watched this show in ages, but I don't know why it sticks in my head. Where Austin just said, "If you want the belt, go and get it," and launched it into the river. And that was Austin dropping the title.
I remember when he threw it into the river. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose all the top guys avoid doing jobs somewhere along the line, and he's no different.
Yeah, that's why I wanted you to cover it, because I just wanted us to cover the Austin throwing it into the belt into the river as a legitimate way of him fucking dropping the strap.
Yeah. It's not great, but yeah. No. The free-for-all, the Nation are arguing about the Royal Rumble and who's gonna, who should be winning it. Rock saying he's the champ, Farouk saying he's the leader. The other three guys they just want to win it. They just want to be a part of it. And in the interview with Michael Cole, this is one of the first times I hear him call himself the People's Champion.
It's quite apparent in this that they are making the transition and they're trying to forget calling him Rocky Maivia. They keep forgetting. They're like on numerous occasions. JR says Maivia, sorry, The Rock, or should I say The Rock? He probably keeps getting Vince screaming in his ear.
More than likely.
And basically, the Rock's promo where he talks about Bill Clinton, cover it up, Willie.
Yeah, I didn't know the backstory. I couldn't be bothered to check it out either. It was
just about Bill Clinton.
Sounds like another Bill Clinton scandal, and that's
it. Was, yeah. And The Rock comes out to the Nation of Domination thing.
But yeah, it's The Rock and Ken Shamrock for The Rock's Intercontinental Championship. The Rock takes the Finks mic when he gets into the ring, tells us he's the best Intercontinental champ there ever was. And I'm sure someone in the back, mainly the honky tonk man, was looking around going, "Hey,
yep,
really?" Shamrock gets a decent pop. Lots of Rocky sucks chants. I mean, this Rock guy looks okay. He'd probably go pretty far in the business if he keeps himself to himself and does all right.
We get the first of our WCW digs in this match as well.
Because I might have missed this one. I got a lot of other ones later on, but I don't think I'll have this one written down.
No, this one, JR says, these are two young, hungry competitors. This is not Senior Town. This is not the Senior Tour. Where, so he's basically having a dig at, because they actually mention Hogan Savage.
They do
later on in the thing. They're talking about Shawn Michaels, where I have to talk to you about that later on when we get there, because they say something about Shawn Michaels that I don't think is true at this time.
What they say?
It might have been.
Did they say he was a model citizen or something?
No, they said he was tag team champion. Was he that with Diesel or Sid?
With Diesel and with Steve Austin.
Right, okay. Because like I say, it's a weird one, but yeah.
I have a question.
Go.
Around this time, you've got some MMA sort of guys crossing over. Was Ken Shamrock the best?
Who did we have? We had Ken Shamrock. We had Dan Severn.
You even had Tank Abbott eventually.
Tank Abbott, yeah.
Tank didn't work for him, but
do you remember? Do you remember the Owen Hart versus Ken Shamrock in the Hart family dungeon with Dan Severn as the referee?
Yeah, that was in '98 as well, wasn't it?
That was in your house. I've recently bought a sealed copy of it. It's in your house, and on the front of it, it's got Triple H doing the fully loaded, in your house, fully loaded. Yeah, and you've got Dan the Beast Severn as the referee between Owen Hart and Ken Shamrock in the Hart family dungeon, which just reminded me of that when you're talking about the MMA guys. Yeah, I mean,
until Matt Riddle, who is obviously caught whipping up a storm on SmackDown right now, was
Ronda Rousey.
Ronda had a good run, but I don't know. I still think Ken probably gets the nod for me.
Well, I mean, they tried to sell Blackman as like your MMA, like.
You mean the bounty hunter?
Yeah, the guy, because he was like your kung fu kind of guy. No, Steve Blackman.
I wouldn't be enjoying it if he was knocking on my door, to be honest. But
no.
Yeah, no. Was Shamrock the better one of the lot?
I would say so. I mean, but I'm a mark for Tank Abbott because I loved him in the Ultimate Fighting Championships just because.
Oh, you didn't like it?
He was shit
When he was 3 counts bodyguard.
He was what?
3 counts bodyguard.
I love 3 count as well. Yeah, well, don't go breaking my heart, bro. Yeah, I would say Shamrock. I mean, Shamrock was hot here, man. He was getting pops. He was a proper face, I
remember an interview with Jim Ross recently. It might have been on one of his podcasts, saying that Shamrock was almost considered for a top run as even as champion, but it was silly things like missing shows and turning up late for shows that just went against him. There was nothing.
Well, at one point he was tag team champion, European champion.
Yeah.
He'd come down with 2 belts. He
means King of the Ring as well at some point.
Yeah,
I think it's in this year. But yeah, it's a slow start. Rock's being cautious. Obviously, playing up to Shamrock's fighting style. There's a couple of fans there that think Rock's number 1.
That's right.
That, yeah. The DDT, the float over DDT, fans pop for it pretty big, and so do the commentators. It's really nicely done.
Yeah, it's good.
Again, there's not a lot in this match though. It doesn't work to me. I'm not a big fan of it.
I mean, it was okay, like you say. The ending was probably the best bit about it, and
I've gone from the DDT to the ending.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely got his heel heat. I mean, my missus, I was watching this, and my missus was next to me watching it, and she actually liked the bad guy Rock. She liked the heel Rock, and that's someone who doesn't really like wrestling. But the fact that the Rock was great when you hated him because he was an arrogant prick, and it was easy to hate.
Eventually, with his promo work, it became so good that the fans made him turn babyface. There was no way around it.
Yeah, that's right.
Jerry Lawler says that Ken Shamrock thinks a quarterback is a refund.
That's right. I've got that as well.
Yeah. Comer and D'Lo. Shout out D'Lo. They come in, they run in. Ken knocks them both down, but somehow the Rock gets some brass knuckles, lays out Ken Shamrock, and then in a very smart way, puts the brass knuckles into Ken Shamrock's tights. God feeling around for God knows what else.
Yeah.
It gets a 2 count on that. And then amongst the mucking about, Ken gets a 3 count off a belly to belly. And that's a finishing move of someone I can't stand. But shout out Shane Douglas, you jobber.
Yeah. Jobber, fucking ham and egger.
The Rock's very smartly. And this almost reminded me of later on, like a really later sort of Eddie Guerrero, where he would chuck a chair at someone and then fall down and then say to the ref, like, complain to the ref. Because The Rock does this. He tells the ref that Ken Shamrock used the knuckles. The ref starts assaulting Ken Shamrock and feeling around in his region.
That's right.
I didn't agree with. You don't just start going putting your hands on someone in that area.
Not unless you ask him nicely.
He feels he feels around the trunks. He finds the brass knuckles and reverses the decision. What happened to referee's decision is final? We've been talking about that in the last 2 bloody episodes. Now all of a sudden, the referee can feel around in a guy's crotch and go, "Oh, I found your brass knuckles."
And this is the thing, though. The person that bitches to the referees and bitches to whoever, you're supposed to not like them, yeah? So The Rock is complaining to the referee saying, no, he cheated, checking his trunks. We hate him for it. It's not like Hogan who fucking bitches to Jack Tunney or to fucking whoever and, sliding underneath the ropes to show us animatedly that he wasn't eliminated like a prick.
Ken Shamrock snaps as he does. And, I think he hits Mike Chioda, poor Mike Chioda, with a belly-to-belly and an ankle lock for good measure. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't a great match. Is that iced tea you're drinking there, Chris?
Yes, dude. Sorry, dude. Are we not supposed to be advertising, but it's very, very tasty.
Is that a glass bottle as well?
No. We do recycle, though, so...
Dead fancy, that is. We get told that Cactus Jack will be in the Royal Rumble, and Dude Love and Mankind had to stay home.
Yeah.
Kind of a shame. Los Boricuas are looking for Steve Austin. They reckon they found him. They burst into a changing room and beat up what would eventually be Skull of the DOA. Because you find out later on in the Rumble that there's someone that doesn't show up, and I figured out it was meant to be Skull.
Yeah, because 8-Ball but they don't ever tell you. You
have to do your own homework here.
Because 8-Ball turns up, but Skull, you have to do your own due diligence there. Because even me, I'm like, it was number 22, and they don't. Right. They don't show. So
promo of Legion of Doom and New Age Outlaws. The Outlaws have been one step ahead of LOD at every turn. Between them and DX, they shaved off one of Hawk's sides of a mohawk, I guess. What is that hairstyle called?
A skullet. It's like a skull mullet. Yeah. That's what Animals is. It's like a mullet with a skinhead like thing. It's like a skullet, yeah.
There we go. A skullet, people, right?
To me, if I'm going to be 100% honest, the WWE, WWF never really could harness the Road Warriors as they once were, because the business was very different when they came into as it was. But I think you can tell in this promo that LOD are a little bit played out by now. The way that they did the promo, where it was very shouty, and you can't, if you start at 10, you can't then dial up any more. They always went in too hot, I always thought, Oh.
I'm going to say that I like the LOD promo, but first we've got the New Age Outlaws coming out, and they're wearing their Green Bay Packer jerseys to piss off the
49ers.
49ers fans,
yeah.
Well, Michael Cole says Animal has a back injury. Animal decides to start shouting and screaming at us, saying doctors don't know what they're talking about. Sure, like
tell them, Hawk.
Yeah.
Well.
The New Age They're
We
cool
love
on
them.
the other side of the pillow. And they're going to put them on ice. What a shit promo that was.
I mean, like I say, it was a classic. It's your classic LOD promo I've got here. And you get the Warrior pop when they come out.
The Road Warrior pop, which is big. It's always big.
It's big, and it was the whole thing of it, the music, the costumes, their legend of how they used to beat the shit out of people.
Well, this is it. JR's like, he sort of puts them in that category of being a little bit older, a little bit over the hill as well, just by saying that they're American originals and they won the NWA, AWA, and WWF tag team titles. The NWA's fallen apart by then. The AWA is dead and buried.
Jeff Jarrett representing the NWA, dude. Let's not forget, he turns up later in this show wearing the fucking NWA championship,
our
didn't he?
North American NWA champion. Yeah, that was a good one. I don't think you can ever get past Animal's Power Slam. It's as smooth as silk.
It's lovely.
Yeah, it's really good, except for typically at the end where Billy overshoots his jump, I think, from the top rope.
They talk about Bob Armstrong's baby boy in this.
I also think that there's a lot of irony in Jerry Lawler saying that the LOD are too old. I just think, Jerry, are you for real? How old are you?
He would wrestle. Yeah.
If we knock the dye out of your hair, we'll see how. Yeah, and it's nothing against Jerry Lawler. It's just that he didn't sign anything for us. He was too busy with some birds at WrestleMania 24. But like I said, I'm not bitter.
You're not bitter.
No.
You don't hold that against him. You don't mention it every other
I wouldn't
podcast.
Yeah. It's just not us. It's not our way.
That's not what we do. As you're saying, there's a botched slam off the top.
Yeah.
That looks a bit bad.
Animal is selling that back injury. He's, all that stuff is pretty good. Road Dogg handcuffs Hawk to the ring post. Now, this is the bit I did like. Animal backflips out of some sort of double back suplex and double clotheslines them. I think that's a really neat spot for someone that's too old to do that. I think, you know what?
And he's a big guy, man. He's a big guy.
Massive.
And I will keep selling go on YouTube and type in LOD power drink. Yeah. It's fucking brilliant, man. Just watch it.
Now,
it must be the power drink.
I have to admit that there's not many contenders for this week's ICO Pro Award. So on that basis, I'm giving it to Hawk. No,
there's one guy, dude. There's one guy in the Rumble that wins that ICO Pro Award.
Okay.
We'll preliminary. You know what I mean. We'll give it to him initially,
that's
right? Eventually. So we'll give it to him for now, but later on
he's a contender purely because there's not many contenders. I could ironically give it to Max Mini, but I'm not going to.
Give it to Battalion.
Yeah. Road Dogg hits Animal with a chair for the DQ just because it's a bad finish. They carry on the beat down until Hawk breaks free, just whips off that handcuff.
Yeah.
With the adrenaline and other substances inside him.
The power drink.
Yeah, that's right.
The raw eggs.
And Hawk nails the Outlaws with some of the weakest chair shots I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Well, not since Hogan, but
there was worse. There's more savage chair shots in the first 5 minutes of the Royal Rumble than those chair shots, which was fucking insane. But we'll get to that.
We have a winner of the Steve Austin truck giveaway. Did you get that on the VHS?
Milfred Bowers.
Mildred Bowers from Tennessee. Jerry Lawler starts marking out for it. Says she's so excited, she's having a party, they're going to burst through the roof of her trailer. Oh, yeah.
And JR promises that every weekend him and the King are going to go down and keep it clean for her.
Yeah. That's good stuff. That was where it's a good way to break up and make you laugh and that, like, and for any reason at all, just to break it up and say, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, why not?
That's right.
You know,
Why
hit
not?
the subscribe button. It's free. It's fun. You get to see us every week.
And you too, one day, could be joining Milfred Bowers in winning one of the Chat, Grapple and Cheap Pops podcast competitions. You won't be winning a fucking truck that's got Stone Cold Steve Austin plastered all over it, but you will win some very cool stuff.
Let's see what's in the garage first. I'm not sure.
That's right.
There's a video promo on my Austin's March Man for the Rumble. Just like I said earlier on, 3
Bullseyes.
3 weeks of stunners on Raw from almost everyone. Mike Tyson says that Stone Cold's number one. And we're at the Rumble match. It's not going on last. It's not the main event, which bit of a surprise. But, you know, usually it goes on last, but there is a reason as to why not. Fink, may he rest in peace. Howard Finkel gives us the rules. And we get to the match. Number one, Cactus Jack. And he's got some plunder. He's got that plunder with him, baby.
Plunder.
Yeah, he's got the plunder.
Some international objects.
That's right. And Chainsaw Charlie is in at number two, Terry Funk. Now, that chainsaw was real. Did you see the sparks come off it when he hit the chair?
I did see that, yes, because I think that's what they were going for. But as he was walking up the aisle, it was coming pretty close to some of the fans' fucking hands, dude.
Yeah, that was...
that's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah. And they go at it with the chairs. You know, at one point, Funk just stands there with his, like, embraces himself. And sorry, I'm going to keep calling him Funk because Chainsaw Charlie is...
Me too. You know, but very quickly, right? This is the arrogance, okay? The arrogance and the ignorance of a lot of people that were in power in WWF at that time. They said, you know, our fans are not wrestling fans. They're sports entertainment fans. Yeah. They will not know who Terry Funk is. Excuse me? Like, as soon as people saw Chainsaw Charlie coming down the aisle, you know, and with that walk that he was, you know, Terry, they know who fucking Terry Funk is. Don't patronize people, you know. And so it annoys me with WWE sometimes, the WWF, where they don't like to acknowledge people's prior experiences and prior accolades, you know. Because they see that their careers only start in WWF, you know.
Terry Funk's former world champion, you know, the NWA and all that. It's like, yeah, unprotected chair shots to the head. We've been over this a few times.
Loads of them.
There's far too many in this. And like, you know, we spoke about it in Royal Rumble 99 where Foley takes tons of them, like 10 of them in a row. He takes a fair few in this one, as does Terry Funk. It's not cool anymore, is it?
Not really, no. Especially when you know the damage that it does.
Number three, Tom Brandy, gone in, 4 seconds?
Dude, this is your ICO Pro
Oh, you're
winner.
giving Brandy the winner. Okay.
I'm giving Brandy the ICO Pro for this. I'm trying to find...
You know why he doesn't get it? Because he was in it for 4 seconds.
He was in it to win it, bro. He was fucking jacked, man. He was absolutely jacked.
Okay. Tom Brandy then, ICO Pro winner. Congratulations, Tom. Is he Salvatore Sincere?
What?
Is he also Salvatore Sincere?
I would have to check that.
Yeah, I can't really remember. But yeah, he's thrown out straight away. See you later. A suplex onto 2 set-up chairs. I think Cactus does it to Terry on those 2 chairs, and it doesn't look comfortable in the slightest. And it really, I didn't like it. I winced when I saw him crash through one part of the chair and not the other.
it's Tom Brandy gets chucked out, and then it's back to Funk and Foley, suplex onto some chairs, some crazy chair shots. It was pretty brutal.
Number 4, that plucky youngster, our Intercontinental Champion, The Rock. This guy seems pretty good, like I said. But
Could go far.
There is some massive cheers for him getting hit with a trash can.
Oh, it's excellent the way that they work it. But did you notice that as he got into the ring and he started attacking Funk, Foley says something to the referee. He's talking to him, and he said something right in front of the camera. And I was trying to work out
I didn't see that.
What he was telling him, but it was clear as day. It almost as clear as day as when Shawn Michaels was telling Vader, "Fucking move."
Yes.
SummerSlam '96.
96, yeah.
But we'll get to that one day.
Yeah. Number 5, Headbanger Mosh. Again, I don't know how. We spoke about it before in another pay-per-view, but we've seemed to have forgotten. I've forgotten about the whole Headbanger run.
Yeah, they had a bit of a. You'll see number 6 who comes in. They had a bit of a rivalry with the team of the person from number 6.
Yeah.
Terry Funk does a moonsault.
He does try a moonsault. Yeah, he does. He does all right. It's a little bit sideways, but it all counts.
Yeah, he was middle-aged and crazy, bro.
Number 6, Phineas Godwin. Apparently, according to Jim Ross, living proof of what happens when first cousins marry.
That's exactly what he said. Yeah.
And nothing really going on between 6 and 7. 8 Ball from the DOA is out next. Terry Funk Ducks and Cactus is gone. And that was a shame.
And they say, sorry, go on.
In the meantime, Jerry Lawler says that someone has got to Stone Cold in the back according to his sources. I had a source back there in '98 as well. I checked with my source just to make sure, and he told me that Limo Rickshaw was the man that got him. Right,
it was Limo Rickshaw from Tijuana.
Yeah.
It was. That's what I was going to say. That so they say someone got to Austin.
Yeah.
In between 7 and number 8.
And I Limo Rickshaw. Dusty's running.
It was Limo Rickshaw.
Yeah. Number 8, Blackjack Bradshaw, or JBL as we know him now.
Yeah.
And this is where I've got here. Not a great deal of star power again. This reminds me of the '99 Rumble, where you're getting just a few bods in, like your Tom Brandys, your 8 Ball, and your Phineas Godwins. I suppose it's more down to the number that WWF has. It's not like you can just get 60 men and plonk them in 3 rings and say this is the biggest battle royal ever, even though it fucking sucks.
No, you're right. You had, like say, number 8, Blackjack Bradshaw, obviously named at that time after Blackjack Mulligan. He had the moustache and everything, didn't he?
He had the boots, he had the moustache, he even had the clothesline. But
hell, he even had the clothesline.
Yeah. There will be a major announcement on Raw regarding Mike Tyson. That comes up in between 8 and 9. Number 9, Owen Hart. And he gets jumped in the aisle by Jim Cornette and Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
Like, Owen's luck is out here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Soul Survivor and all that. And
Soul Survivor. And he's attacked by the NWA North American Champion. Double J. They were good friends, Owen Hart and Double J.
Yeah.
They would tag team.
Yeah, they would tag team later on in '99, wouldn't they? Yeah. And it was a good tag team. I liked it.
Yeah. And Owen doesn't make it at this point into the Rumble, and you think he's not gonna make it.
Again, a lot of people dump on Jarrett. I see that even in some of the forums this week. People dumping on Jarrett and how bad he was, and I don't see it.
He had a good drop kick. He could work. He was universally a great heel. I think what it is,
because he did the strut.
I think possibly it's that, but I think it's just that kind of that privilege that he had. I think the fact that he was just a little fucking rich boy who really paid his dues in his dad's territory while not really paying his dues. You know what I mean?
Lift up the card. Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
You know, and I think that's what gets people's goat a little bit. The fact that he could actually work is to his credit, and, you know, meant they couldn't really hold him back. But yeah, I think that's what it is.
Okay. Steve Blackman's in at number 10, the bounty hunter, Steve Blackman. Jerry Lawler thinks that Ken Shamrock is the one that got to Austin. Again, the action's few and far between at this point. And it's this is the only thing that bugged me about this Rumble, is that it felt like nothing was really happening until we got to the 20s. Like
Yeah.
The 20 numbers, but we'll carry on because D'Lo is next, the great D'Lo Brown. No relation to me, by the way.
No.
D'Lo, yeah, he starts throwing a few punches at his nation buddy, The Rock.
I just keep, every time you say D'Lo, I'm going to have to shake my head like that. Sorry.
Number 12, one of Jerry Lawler's picks for the Rumble, Kurgan.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, but there wasn't much more to it, was there? He was part of the Truth Commission with the Jackal. I mean, that just makes you laugh as it is. It's just not a great sort of gimmick. He does throw Mosh out though.
He should have been an absolute beast, Kurgan.
Yeah, he should have been. Number 13, Mark Mero. Not Johnny B. Bad, Mark Mero with Sable. And Sable gets a hell of a pop here. It's not Mero, it's Sable's pop. And they're chanting Sable, and this must really, really grind your gears at this point, Chris.
It does, especially when you've got, I mean, like I say, I know Brock Lesnar is a huge fan of the podcast, and he's probably listening now. But, you know, it's Sable for me. It's, again, we go to Cornette, but Cornette says that Sable is what Vince's idea of a beautiful woman is. And, you know, Vince McMahon had to be convinced to hire Gail Kim for the reason that she was Chinese. Yeah. And he thought that people, and they had to remind him and say, look, like, you do realise that, you know, Western men do find Chinese women quite attractive, and there is like quite a few websites on Tinternet with various videos with women like her in them.
I'm certain I don't know what you're talking about, but do carry on.
Yeah, I mean, Vince found it hard to believe that there was actual, you know, Japanese porn sites or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's his idea of what a beautiful woman was Sable, and him, and I quote Cornette by calling Vince Russo, he calls him shit stick or something.
Yeah.
It basically, Russo and Vince used to basically drool all over Sable all the time.
Part of the, you know, and Jim Cornette on some of his shows, especially with, I think it was kayfabe commentaries, he would talk about, he was part of the booking team at the time, and he would say, like, he would be begging them to put some wrestling on, some, you know, stuff that would, you know, work with a wrestling show, whereas they would be worried about what outfit Sable was going to wear for, like, and it used to drive him crazy, and it would drive.
That's correct.
He would end up quitting.
They were more bothered about what Sable was going to wear than actually putting the women's title on a legitimate worker like Luna Vachon.
Well, I mean, this is why, you know, someone like Cornette would quit, because him and Vince Russo clearly have a very, very different philosophy on what, you know, would be wrestling or on a wrestling show. And this is still technically a wrestling show. You can call it sports entertainment or whatever you want to, you know, but it's still a wrestling show, and there is still wrestling to go.
Yeah, but we're not a sports entertainment podcast, are we?
We're still broadcast journalists.
We are still broadcast journalists, but this is not a sports entertainment podcast.
Yeah. There are Sable chants going up. Kurgan throws out Steve Blackman. Ken Shamrock is in at number 14. He knocks down Kurgan, and because I think JR mentioned Kurgan hadn't been knocked off his feet yet, unless he was doing a move himself. Shamrock knocks him down, and then a bunch of them gang up and do the old big man spot where they gang up on some poor giant and toss him out.
Yeah, and then he growls talks in some fake language.
Yeah, he does. 15 is Headbanger Thrasher. There's more Sable chants just for you, Chris.
Yeah, I've got that written down here as well.
This is where Jerry Lawler makes the point about hitting Tyson with an uppercut, and he'll be 6'5" or whatever.
Yeah.
Number 16, Mankind.
Yep.
Mrs. Foley's baby boy gets a second chance of redemption, and the first thing he does is eliminate his pal Terry Funk.
Yeah, while Terry Funk's trousers are falling down.
Yeah, bless him. But Terry Funk's lasted quite a while.
Yeah.
He's made it over halfway through, in the number wise anyway. And number 17, Goldust is back in a new outfit.
The artist formerly known as Goldust.
Yeah, I don't want to do that bit, but he's with Luna again. He's changed into a silver outfit with a black bra and thong thing over the top.
They're calling him. They say he puts the fun in dysfunctional.
Yeah.
And they're calling him the dysfunctional the dreams boy.
Yes, they do take another shot at Dusty with this. Again, Goldust clearly deserves better at this point. He does eliminate Mankind.
He does, yeah.
Now, to me, that looked like a botch.
Like Mankind weren't supposed to go then.
He's almost looking around. He looks at the ref he goes, almost like, oh shit, I'm out here. Should I just go? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he goes next, and yeah, it looks a bit botchy. Number 18, Jeff Jarrett, our NWA North American champion. We spoke about him already with Jim Cornette. And to a massive pop, Owen Hart returns to batter Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
And he lays into him. Jarrett tries to throw him out. He does the old skin in the cat, flips back into the ring and throws out Jeff Jarrett, and the place goes wild. I was a little bit surprised to see that. I was surprised that the fans were that into what was going on with Jarrett and Owen. And yeah, it was really
I liked it.
Yeah, it was nice for it to be appreciated. Number 19 is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, Honky Tonk Man. He doesn't shake, rattle, and roll. He doesn't prance, though. He just excuse me. He just runs into the Rumble just like any other guy. It sort of took away from his character, I think.
Yeah, it's funny. We watched this, and I think the day before, I was sharing videos with Jordan. We were talking about the Honky Tonk, New Jack, and Iron Sheik shoot interview when worlds collide. And it's fucking insane. At one point, you've got the Iron Sheik with his knob out. You've got all of them bare ass in the camera. We're talking about fuck you, Jeff Jarrett, and they've all got their asses out. You got black crack, you got old crack, you got honky crack. You know what I mean? Like it is one of the. You've got the Iron Sheik saying he won't do nothing without his medicine. Get me fucking beers, fucking cigarette, and marijuana. This is my medicine. And he talks about his agent Eric fucking little boys in their ass.
Yeah.
It's absolutely is one of the most craziest interviews you'll ever watch, and it is for any wrestling fan. You have to watch it.
It's an insane sort of interview. Do check it out. Triple H and China arrive on the scene. Triple H is on crutches. Apparently, he dislocated his knee. Yeah, he is our European champion at the time as well.
He goes through some crutches in this.
Yes, he does. How many do you reckon he brought with him?
Yeah, he's got a fucking suitcase full of them.
The Rock throws out Ken Shamrock. Triple H uses said crutch to eliminate Owen Hart. And this bit makes me laugh because Ahmed Johnson is next. I forgot he was still around in '98.
Right, he can barely fucking move.
Owen Hart is chasing Triple H, and as he gets through the curtain, he falls over.
That's hilarious. They even talk about it in the commentary. Even the King goes, "Oh, it fell over."
King accidentally acknowledges that Honky Tonk Man is his cousin. That made me laugh. Yeah, Ahmed Johnson, holy shit, he looks hideous.
He was moving like the Yeti, bruv. He was
wading through treacle. Yeah,
he was literally like walking so slow, and when he got in the ring, it was like he could barely lift his legs up to get in the ring. It was absolutely shocking. It was like, why the fuck, dude, go home, bro. Like, go home. And we don't talk.
Yeah.
We're not talking about end of the match. We're talking about literally go home.
Number 21's Mark Henry. Nothing happens. Literally nothing. Number 22 is...
No, wait. You've got... JR inadvertently says, Henry is handling the Big Johnson.
Oh, yes, he did say that. I tried to go...
I swear that is a fucking rib that someone has told him, I will pay you $100 if you can get that in.
Vince loves a party joke, yeah.
It sounds like the way he dropped it, it was like, Henry is handling the Big Johnson.
Yeah.
And, Vince is, he said it. He said it, goddammit.
Pronouns, pal.
Yeah.
22, yeah, it's nobody. They speculate whether it was Austin. Ahmed Johnson and Phineas are eliminated by members of the Nation. I can't remember which ones. And Phineas accidentally lands on a referee and catches.
With his legs.
Yeah,
he kicks him. Yeah, it's funny. Did you also realise that it was only Honky Tonk's second Rumble?
Yeah, they said that on there. Yeah, it was only his second Royal Rumble appearance. I was quite
crazy.
I don't know how many more he makes. I know he turns up in 2001 as well.
Wasn't there a gimmick Rumble that he was in?
I don't know about a gimmick one, but in the 2001 Royal Rumble, he gets hit over the head with his own guitar by Kane.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, because he tells the big fella to move back because the people want to hear him sing. Good old Honky Tonk. 23 is Karma. Again, the action is flat. And maybe they did that for a reason. I think.
Yeah, because they're waiting for something.
Looking at it, yeah, because number 24 is the pop is huge.
I noticed as well before this, no one really wants to work with Mark Mero. Have you noticed? Did you notice it? He spent a lot of the time
dancing around the ring,
dancing around, and occasionally hitting someone and saying to Sable, you've got to gas it up for me. You've got to hype it up and that, and then doing, he didn't really spend a lot of time working.
Whenever he talks to Sable, they call him an egomaniac.
Yeah, it's like but then he gets eliminated by number 24 straight away.
24 is Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's a massive pop. Austin dumps Mero pretty quickly. 8-Ball as well is gone. And they all start to pile in because Austin is the mark man. He comes through the crowd as well. He doesn't come through the entrance.
They're all facing the entrance. Everybody stops. Everyone's beating each other up, and then they stop. As soon as the music hits, they're facing the thing, and then, he comes in from behind.
Yeah.
And it's, mud holes, bro.
It is good stuff. 25 is Henry Godwin. He goes straight after Austin.
Mud holes for Austin, yeah.
26, all 4 of the Bariquas come out, which I thought was hilarious because it was only meant to be Savio, but all 4 guys come out. Even the guy looks like he's wearing a jacket under his vest.
Yeah, even though he's just a hairy fucker.
They all attack Austin. They end up getting, removed or cleared off. And then there's that clothesline from Austin on Goldust. Absolutely obliterates him.
Yeah.
You can hear it, yes.
They had great. That we've covered an event where stunning Steve Austin, who was then the TV champion, had stunning, really great matches with Dustin Rhodes. Had really, really good matches in WCW.
And he gets hit with a clothesline, and you get an "if you will" from, I think it's JR. So yeah, they're laying it on with Dusty, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really laying it on.
At 27's Farouk, and all the nation at this point are in the ring. Am I right?
Yes, they. Oh, excuse me.
Oh.
They should. Even they say, if they would just stop fighting each other for 1 minute, they could absolutely clear house, and then at least one of them would get a title shot.
But Farouk decides to take Rock to the woodshed.
Yeah.
And lays into him. The crowd seems to be really into it. But yeah, I'll talk about the nation in a minute, like when we get towards the end, because it didn't. Yeah, the booking just went out the window.
It's terrible.
Number 28 is Dude Love. I thought he'd stayed home as well.
Yep.
So Mrs. Foley's baby boy gets a third shot at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, number 28.
And he does. He gets rid of Bradshaw, Blackjack, JBL. Yeah. Rock hits D'Lo with a people's elbow. It sort of goes unnoticed.
Yeah.
But yeah, he hits him with the most. Well, it's not the most electrifying move in sports entertainment at that point, is it? It's probably
not yet.
Just fizzling. Yeah.
It's sizzling.
Yeah. Number 29, Chains. I shrugged my shoulders when he came out. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Moving on. Like, what's he doing? Then we get to number 30, and it's Vader. And again, Vader gets a decent pop.
Vader should have, oh, fucking hell. Think about this logically in the psychology of this. Vader had the first match on the pay-per-view, nicely rested. It wasn't a massively long match.
No.
He comes in number 30. He's your winner. There's your winner. There you go. There's your winner.
Yeah. And Vader, first thing he does is get rid of Honky Tonk Man. Austin dumps out Thrasher, Karma, and Savio in quick succession. And then this one surprised me. Goldust got rid of Vader.
Yeah, very quickly. And very, very quickly.
Quick question. What happened to D'Lo?
D'Lo?
I did not see him get eliminated.
I think Farouk got rid of him.
Oh, okay. I didn't see. Maybe I just lost the plot.
But they missed chains getting thrown over the thing, and then they had to replay it.
Yes.
So they did miss some, because they were here and there and everywhere.
They at least replayed it. I still haven't seen One Man Gang get eliminated by Randy Savage. Well,
no.
Farouk gets rid of Mark Henry, but it looks really lazy. It looks like he just nudges him and he's out.
Yeah, see you later. Go on, Sam.
Yeah, at this point, I'm still thinking, where's D'Lo? If he's still in the Rumble, then maybe Austin should eliminate him later on. Sweet Shin music. What a move. Dude hits Sweet Shin music on the Rock. We are down to our final four. It's The Rock of the Nation against Dude Love and Steve Austin. And this is where it all falls apart logic-wise, because Farouk gets rid of Dude Love, and then The Rock decides to get rid of Farouk.
Yeah.
Their heads have gone.
Because what it was, Austin and Dude Love were kind of teamed up against The Rock and Farouk. Yeah. And then Austin turns on Dude Love.
And Farouk dumps him, yeah.
And Farouk dumps him. And then The Rock turns on Farouk, and then it's Rock and Austin.
And yeah, I mean, it's two of our biggest stars for years to come. And
I mean, Rock was number 4, dude.
Yeah.
Rock was number 4. And he had a slobber knocker of a match with Shamrock as well.
So this is Rock's night, really, in so many ways, but in another way, it's not his night, because this finish is white hot for me. This is incredible.
Oh, it's great.
Rock thinks he's got Austin out. Sorry, other way around. Austin thinks he's got Rock out. Rock comes back into the ring. Austin hits him with a stunner, the only stunner of the night, which is, I can complain about booking elsewhere, but this is amazing booking. You only have one stunner on the show.
And it was at this point.
And the place goes nuts for it, yeah. And
that was probably Austin and The Rock saying, I'm going to do one stunner and it'll be on you at the end of this match.
Yeah. And that was it, yeah. The stunner, and he throws him out. And we get the sort of iconic JR call of Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold.
Stone Cold's going to WrestleMania!
Yeah. What a finish. Like, really good finish that was. Two things I took from this Rumble. The nation fucked up. They could have, if they had all five in there towards the end, they should have just ganged up on everyone.
Yeah.
And this Rumble sort of made Mick Foley look like a chump.
Yeah, it did, because...
with 3 goes.
Yeah. I mean... Mick Foley filled in at a time when this company really struggled with Austin's injuries, and he came into the main event fold. You know, he got battered with chairs, he gashed his head open, he, you know, jumped off fucking cages, and the way they did it, I know what they were going for, but they kind of made him look like a chump, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, in some ways you could be like, oh, look, it's cool, Foley's got all 3 characters on the show, but in another way, it's like he had 3 goes in the Rumble and it wasn't good enough.
Yeah. And one of them was number 28.
Yes. So there you go. They cut to Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson says, Cold Stone is my man.
We missed the I'd rather be in China sign as well.
There was
a I'd rather be in China sign. But yeah, it was a great show for The Rock. He really worked his ass off. That's what I've got here. Great show for The Rock. Really worked his ass off. Really deserved it. And then you've got, Tyson's, who they keep selling as Tyson has been a lifelong WWF fan. They say it repeatedly. They're trying to sell that he knows wrestling, but then he goes, Cold Stone, Steve Austin, and Michael's the young up-and-comer hungry tiger.
Well, it is a common sort of like joke that he makes these mistakes, but Tyson was a fan.
He was a fan.
He was a fan. He did, he was a big fan of like Bruno Sammartino and stuff like that. He was a fan of way beyond. So maybe he was out of touch with what was going on. But like with a lot of people, they probably watched it a lot when they were younger. And, didn't keep on it like us marks, who carry on even to
My name's not Mark.
What's that?
My name's not Mark. But the guy in this next main event is.
Yeah.
Actually, that means there's 2 Marks in the main event. Oh.
Jerry Lawler is upset that Austin won the Rumble. They cut away to that, and he looks very disappointed.
Yep. 28 chances of other people to eliminate him, and no one could do it.
Yeah. There's a video promo of Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. They've been feuding since about mid-97.
Yep, you had Hell in a Cell. Yep.
Ground Zero.
Yep.
I think, what was it? Michaels cost Taker the championship at SummerSlam with the chair shot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, including the incredible Hell in a Cell, something we talk about. You can check that out in our archives on YouTube.
Bad Blood.
Any of the other podcasts, lists.
We'll put that at the end. We'll put that at the end of this one, so you can click on it and watch our Bad Blood episode.
Things have changed since the Hell in a Cell match and stuff like that. Kane had only recently saved The Undertaker from DX on Raw. I think DX were going to announce him as the newest member. I don't know how that would have worked. But yeah, Kane and The Undertaker had some sort of bond at this point. And and you almost forget that it was going to be one of these. It was a casket match. Undertaker, Shawn Michaels with Triple H and China, DX. And I got to say, it's DX's music. is still awesome.
Oh, it's great. And where they did the intros, where it was kind of, if you suffer with epilepsy, you'd probably struggle, because the way they were cutting little scenes of the strippers and the pole dancers and all this kind of stuff in, they were cutting it, bum, bum, bum. It was really hard to follow, even for me. But yeah, I mean, the intro.
Oh yeah, really good.
The music, very, very good.
This is where JR cuts in and says, nobody is better than Shawn Michaels in championship matches. Not Hogan, not Savage.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he does this later on as well with two other guys. But this one in particular it's like, wow, shots. He's really firing them up.
This is why he says, Shawn has won every title. Tag team title, Intercontinental, blah, 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 blah. And that's when I was thinking, did he win the tag team championships? And I thought,
he didn't win the tag titles with that, that job of Marty Jannetty. So
no, he didn't.
Yeah, I think he won it with possibly Diesel. I can't really be sure on that. But I
think it might have been Diesel.
He did win it with Steve Austin as well, around King of the Ring '97, something like that.
Okay.
They did it then as well. But yeah.
And they say, he's won. No one's done that. Not Hogan, not Savage, nobody. Another pop at WCW right there.
Yeah, and you know what? Between the ending of the Rumble, which was incredibly hot, and now the main event, which people are really geared up for, you almost forget that there was an undercard. Because I did when I was watching this show. I almost totally forgot about the tag match and Vader and Goldust and Shamrock and Rock. It was almost like it never happened.
Yeah.
Because everything seemed to be leading to the end of the Rumble, Austin getting his shot, and this casket match, which is, next up. They're calling the Undertaker's. Sorry, they're saying that the casket match is Undertaker's specialty, but in my recollection, he's lost one.
He lost the one against Yokozuna.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost the one against Yoko, but that was because literally every cunt and their uncle came out. You had Team Cornette, everyone came out, and that is vivid in my mind because wasn't that again another Royal Rumble?
That was Royal Rumble '94, yeah.
Correct, because I remember watching that on Sky. I was 12. Oh. I remember watching it, and that is the time where they put Taker in the casket, they locked it up, and then they had a camera inside it, and you see him, and he's like, "You have now witnessed the rebirth of the Undertaker," and that will forever stick in my mind. Yeah, because they gave him Yokozuna did some banzai drops on him, a shitload of them. And he could not be killed. That was the time when he was wearing the face thing as well. I think Yokozuna sat in his face.
There was a spot just before the stuff we're going to talk about where Taker catches Shawn Michaels midair by the throat and Michaels doesn't touch the floor. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
But he manages to keep him up. HBK does his bit as well, stay in the air. And I've got here written down, he may have been a dick in the 90s. He may well, he was probably the biggest fucker going in wrestling. But he can go.
Oh, he can go. But the problem I had is the same problem I had with him against Vader. The size of Shawn, and they even say, Shawn Michaels has a history against the big guys. Yeah, he's beaten Sid, he's beaten Diesel, he's beaten Vader.
They said he's in a different league to Diesel and Sid. And that's another shot. Another shot
at WCW, yes. And you've got to look at the size of Shawn Michaels. And to be honest, he should have been the guy at the beginning of the match. And it doesn't happen in the Vader match. And it doesn't happen in this match, but it should do. He's little compared to his opponent. He should be getting the shit beaten out of him. He shouldn't be the initial aggressor in this match.
Almost, because at the beginning of this one, he's using his speed, I guess, to get out of the way and throw in a couple of jabs and then move again. It's like, I kind of get that bit.
I think it goes on for too long.
Yeah, he should be the main aggressor, being that size. But no, I get it. And then we get the spot which ruins the match for Michaels in particular, and this ruins his career. The the back body drop onto the casket where he only really clips the casket, but on the point of his back, and it does him in.
And to be honest, to be fair to Shawn Michaels as well, the fact that there's also another very, 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 very nasty bump that he takes at the end of this match.
Yeah.
It is fucking horrible. And to his credit, yeah, he takes the back body drop over where the casket is, and he literally, like, his back does, like, you know, just clip it, and he lands on his feet. And you think, oh, he's missed that, but he did bend very badly on it, and
it would put him out for over 4 years.
And you know, his comeback match was absolutely incredible, though.
Yeah, it is a really good match. I'll give you that.
Oh shit, the bed.
You notice that Shawn Michaels is wincing and I even noticed this. You know, I have my own back troubles and I've had real problems with that. He was dragging his feet. It's like he couldn't get his legs to go.
And the fact that he wrestled the rest of this match after that is to his credit, because I mean, Jesus, it was fucking bad, man. You know, you've got the powder gimmick where he throws
they blow that, but
they blow that powder gimmick. You know, you've got a nice moonsault as well. Shawn
skinning the cat, doing moonsaults. He's lifting up the steps to hit.
Yeah, he's hammering the Undertaker, the bottom of his back, though they look a bit brutal. And then he gives a pole driver on the steps to the Taker.
Really good.
And he protects Taker really well, but it looks, it's a perfectly executed pole driver. Beautiful.
Triple H has gone into his bag of crutches to carry on another beating. I don't know how many he goes through on this show, but yeah, he does start laying into the Undertaker with his crutches. It is this point where Jim Ross says that the Undertaker, not Shawn Michaels, the Undertaker is in a different league to Diesel and Sid regarding to big men that Shawn Michaels has faced. But it is still
that's where he says he's beaten Sid, beaten Diesel. Taker is better than those two.
Yeah,
I've got that written down. Yeah.
There's a spot in the casket where Undertaker's in it. Shawn Michaels is standing over it. He's about to close it, and Taker decides he's going to molest Shawn in his happy place.
He's nuts. Yeah, grabs a nut. But is that after there's an elbow?
No, the elbow comes up next. Yeah.
Oh, dude, and he lands right on the Undertaker. Like, there's obviously not much room in the casket.
Yeah, the elbow from the top into the casket, and then our genius / idiot of a ref, Hebner, just closes the lid.
Yeah.
Is that a double finish?
When they're both in there, yeah.
Like, was he going to call for the bell again, like he did at Survivor Series? The fucking idiot.
You love him now.
And then we get to that spot that I think you're talking about, the tombstone off the side of the apron into the casket.
Into the casket. It is. I don't see how Shawn doesn't break his neck.
But yeah, it looks bad, but I guess it doesn't do as much damage as the original casket shot did.
It was sketchy as fuck, man. It looked proper sketchy.
And yeah, we get a throwback to 1994 because the New Age Outlaws and the Boricuas come out, and they start putting the beating on Undertaker. And it did. When I watched it back, I was like, they've really gone back into Yoko mode here, haven't they? Like, just to.
Yeah.
But then Kane comes out, his little brother Kane, and starts clearing house, laying out all 6 of these guys that come out, and then wouldn't you know it? Shall I say it? Swerve, bro.
Swerve, bro.
Kane puts Taker in the casket, and
he choke slams him into it.
Yeah, he choke slams him into the casket. Shawn Michaels wins without really doing anything.
Yeah.
Kane and Paul Bearer, they padlock it shut. At this point, I was probably easier to tell everyone that Undertaker has slid under the ring through a little trapdoor. Kane hits he wheels the casket up to the entranceway, right by the sort of main entrance bit. starts hitting the casket with an axe. Doesn't really do anything.
It's fucking, because my home video exclusive is coming up. There was another home video exclusive bit that I missed.
Okay.
Which was, because there was only 2 home video exclusives. Oh yeah, Shamrock attacks The Rock in the video exclusive.
Okay. Well,
After their match, you see a video exclusive of basically The Rock is in the dressing room, and then Shamrock comes running in his pair of jeans and starts beating The Rock up.
nice.
But then, we get a video exclusive at the end of this, which again has got some questionable action, because I don't know. There must have been a reason why they did the axe thing, and it was probably for them to see if Taker was still in there or not. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like I said, like Kane is hit it with the axe. They pour a load of gasoline, petrol, whatever you want to call it, on it, and they set light to it. And that's where it cuts off for me. It's just the Undertaker's in that casket. He's on fire, and that's it. They finish it there. Like they just fade to black, Soprano style. Like
no.
Yeah, like you've obviously got way more than me here, and
this is why you buy the VHSs. You can get the network because there's a hell of a lot of shit on there, which is great. But buy the videos, because on your Silver Vision VHS exclusive, we get I get it gets to the bit where they cut it, and it literally is just the casket is on fire.
Yeah.
But Paul Bearer and Kane wander off. Yes. You know, and they wander off, and then you get someone comes out, grabs the axe, okay, and starts whacking the top of the casket, right, for no reason, kind of thing. Like they're trying to undo it, but they're not. They're just hammering it even harder. And then what they do is they put it all out. They put the fire out, and then they pop the casket open, and the Undertaker's gone. And then over the speakers you hear, the Undertaker saying stuff.
I will not rest in peace or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, I will return and you will rest in peace and all that. Okay. I will not rest in peace is what he says. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he had refused to fight his brother Kane. Obviously, this bit gives him a couple of weeks off, and then he returns to set up their WrestleMania match.
Then they have the Inferno match.
The Inferno match comes later. The first match is just a straight one-on-one at WrestleMania 14. But yeah, I remember some of the stuff, like, because they did it just before WrestleMania 20 as well. Lots of lights going out, nothing happening, just to put the frighteners on Kane. And they did it again at WrestleMania, just before WrestleMania 20, with the dead man gimmick coming back and stuff. It was,
yeah.
I mean, in 1998, it was pretty good. So
yeah, man, it was not bad at all, really. A lot going on. I mean, it wasn't a good year for Michaels, hurting his back, to be fair. And we don't wish that on anybody, no. Especially someone like Sean. Like you say, he may have been a dick, but the guy could work. And we don't wish injuries on anybody, especially something like that would put him out. Them sunny days are gone.
Yeah. And that's our Royal Rumble show. That was, I mean, like I said, relatively good show until it kicked into high gear in the last part of the Rumble match, and then the main event, which I thought was really good as well. I know you said you didn't quite like some of the logic behind it, but it was
a good match. It was good. And to be fair to Shawn Michaels, he the fucker could sell, man. He could work, dude.
Yeah.
He could get the shit beat out of him and look $1 million doing it. Yeah, fuck yeah.
And yeah, that I mean, that's it from us, I think, isn't it? Do we tell them what we're doing next week?
Yeah, man. Why not? Let's go, because in in a strange turn of events, Jordan and myself have actually managed to decide what we're doing for the next two weeks. You know, we decided this one and the next two going forward. So yeah, man, tell them what we're doing next week if you want, bro.
We are going back to World Championship Wrestling. We are going to the very first Super Brawl, which was in 1991, I think. It's Super Brawl 1, and it's got some incredible matches on there. Like I would probably say that I pushed for this one just because I know there's a really good match in there that Chris is going to like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, you keep watching it, we keep doing it.
Simple, man. That's how it works.
We do stress that you go and watch the Royal Rumble if you remember stuff or you didn't remember or you didn't like what we talked about. Tell us.
Yeah, argue with us on YouTube, on Twitter. Some interaction.
I'm sure AEW fans will be coming for probably me.
AEW fans, bring it on. Like I say, fucking bring it on.
Tell me about your demo, God.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we kid. We are two guys that have a lot of fun with this, and we just like to chat wrestling. That's all. You know, we're not here to listen to people complain and cry about everything. You know, we just love it. So I would stress that people, you know, if you like it, if you don't like it, I'm not going to say it's the best thing going because we're probably not.
Yeah, we're up there, man. We're getting there, dude. You know,
hit that subscribe button. Hit it. Hit the likes. Chuck us a comment, even if you think, you know, we're idiots. Tell us that we're idiots.
That's right.
Just add a comment to it. It's fine. I don't want to see any more bot comments saying, you know, chat to girls and all that rubbish.
Online moms.
Yeah, we don't want the bot comments. We want real people to, you know, tell us that they hate us.
That's right. Come and call me a weasel-faced motherfucking Mark Punk bitch, you know? Fucking jabroni motherfucker. Call me. I don't care. Like, we want that interaction. We love it. We, you know.
Absolutely fine. Yeah. So
we're fine with it. We're thick skinned.
Subscribe, hit the notification. You'll know when we're coming out again. You know, next week it's Super Brawl. This week it's been Royal Rumble. We're extremely grateful for anyone that's still with us, that's still awake, still watching, still listening. You know, Chris, do you want to run through where they can find us again?
Dude, we are being a little bit more active on the Instagram, which is at @ChatGrapplePops. Jordan, Jordan is always on the Twitter at @ChatGrapplePops. This is on YouTube. Please subscribe. All I can say, please, because we keep trying to say, you know, subscribe. We keep saying we want to get to that 1,000 subscribers. We need to get up to there, and then we can start doing some more exciting stuff. We can start to branch out a little bit and do a little bit more to improve the production value and things like that.
You only have to look at Instagram. We got stuff to give away.
We have got shit to give away. We have got stuff to give away. You know, so hit us there on YouTube, Chat, Grapple and Cheap Pops podcast on YouTube. We are on various podcast platforms: Podbean, Spotify, Deezer, Castbox, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Listen Notes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, the whole deal. You know, so please. We love the interaction. We need more of it. As Jordan's saying, you keep watching, we'll keep making these. Thank you for everybody who has watched our previous videos. We are going to plug a couple more on this little bit there on Austin's head. We'll put another couple of little videos there.
Bad Blood 97. Go check.
We'll put Bad Blood there. Yep, we'll put that there. So we're going to put a few more, and we'll also put our Royal Rumble 99 show there. That'll be the two shows we plug on this. Just thanks to everybody who has watched and has subscribed. Please, everybody who's watching this, please subscribe and give us a few comments and stuff like that. I am Chris Dredd, my main man JB. This has been WWF Royal Rumble 1998. It is Chat, Grapple and Cheap Pops podcast, and we will be back very soon, guys. Thanks again for joining us. Peace.